It is game night at last on Shackelford Road as college soccer has returned to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, and the light shining down on a competitive match for the first time since 2019. Tonight they illuminate an all-purple affair. It's the Evansville Purple Aces and the Lipscomb Bisons to kick off the 2020 season in 2021. Glad to have you with us. I'm John Freeman, joined by Nashville SC winger Taylor Washington. And, well, Taylor, you've gone through the same process, the testing, the training, the wondering when the next game is. It's a great feeling to finally be back out on that field, isn't it?
Oh, it's the biggest relief. You know, you're able to do what you've set out to do, what you love, and all this preparation that you've done for so long, it finally can come to fruition. You know, this is a big night for the boys, and I'm excited to see some good soccer.
This will ignite what is 4 matches in the next 10 days for Lipscomb. 4 of their first 5 will be at home for the team picked to finish second in the ASUN preseason polls. Well, 2 teams on the brink of a moment that they have craved for over 400 days. Lipscomb and Evansville bound together, and the fuse finally lit. This upcoming kickoff, the first of the season. A season that was supposed to begin months ago now begins on a cold February night. And away we go from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, the Bisons in the purple and Evansville on the road in the all-white. Lipscomb 4-4-3 all-time against Evansville. These 2 teams last played in September 2019. That match was a 1-1 draw. This is game 2 of a doubleheader. Taylor, we saw quite a good first match. It was Lipscomb falling actually to Lee University, a late winner for the Division II Flames. That gave the visitors the victory, and the Lipscomb men now with the duty of trying to gather the first home victory of the season for the soccer programs.
Let's hope they do it. I'm excited to see some players out here today. I know Lipscomb's got a ton of pace up top, so hopefully they're able to start to utilize that in the beginning of this first half. Right now they're in their own half right now, so let's see. Long throw.
Evansville setting up for the long throw and headed out off of an Evansville player, and it will be a goal kick for the Bisons. Some of the speed that you were talking about up top, a player that Charles Morrow is quite interested in is Tyrese Spicer, the freshman from Trinidad and Tobago, who will be looking to stretch the defense. And also, Lipscomb has Javon Smith, another freshman. He is from England, who will start up top as well, another pacey player that Charles Morrow is excited about.
300-meter record holder.
That's it. In England.
That's such an English thing.
His prep school, 300 meters.
300 meters, not 4, not 2, but 3.
And here is Smith pestering the center back of Evansville and Baptiste Foust. And the first journey into the offensive area of the pitch for the Bisons.
For a team with a lot of pace also, you got to think they're going to try and go over the top. But if you look at this Evansville team, there's a number of guys who look like giants on this field. So they're going to have to be smart about how they move the ball and be able to use that pace. Definitely try and up, back, and through it. And Evansville looks like they got a little bit of pace as well.
Evansville starting Nkosi Graham, the sophomore from New Jersey. Up top for a Purple Aces team that went 2-15-1 last year, but drastic renovations from that squad. Several transfers coming in for head coach Marshall Ray, now in his 7th season. And a high-pressing start here and a bright start for Evansville.
We have a little Evansville connection with Mike Jacobs, former coach of Evansville, now our GM, making all the decisions for Nashville SC.
It seems to always be a road back to Nashville.
It always is. I got to try and be unbiased.
Marshall Ray is another person in tonight's affair that can say that. He was actually the head coach of Evansville, a Nashville Metro player. So.
Ooh, okay. An OG.
Go ahead. Even before you.
Yeah. I thought I was a unicorn, as they call us in Nashville.
So Ray knows plenty of the Nashville soccer scene. Trying to bring his program back to its glory days. Evansville was a power way back in the early 90s, playing in several Final Fours. And they're pushing the issue here. the attacking end. Swift movement down the far side. And Michael Sibley with his first action of the day, the sophomore from London.
I like what I'm seeing from Evansville, though. High pressing, clean with the ball, able to win second balls, and they're hungry for it. This is the first time Lipscomb's been able to break them, though. Let's see if they can use this pace.
Seeking out Tyrese Spicer. Left side, and Louis Robinson embarking down the far wing. It's a good-looking service, and Jacob Madden called into duty.
I think Robinson's a kid I sort of identified in the pregame warm-ups as someone who had something special about him. Even though he was passing the ball around the back four, you could tell he has a winger mentality, and I guess last year he moved back from left wing to left back. And as someone who has done that, forward-thinking players at the left back, you love to see it, especially with Spicer in front of you. I'm excited to see that left side.
Robinson, a team-high 3 assists last year as the shot goes whistling wide from Pablo Guillen. Apologize, that was Nkosi Graham with the shot. And Lipscomb decamping from its own defensive end with Honore Kalala. Big muscular center back in Kalala. In pursuit is Golden. Able to manufacture the throw-in. So Taylor, you had quite the layoff in between your matches in professional soccer. First 10 minutes, is it just getting your game feet? I know both teams had an exhibition, but always a different speed when you head to a competitive match.
Definitely. I sort of equivalent this to sort of when you go from preseason to that first game. And especially with 400 days off, you got to think a little bit of nerves. I want to prove myself. And for this Evansville team that's coming off a 2-15 record, they're definitely trying to prove a point. And I think against a good Lipscomb team, if they're able to get a result here, man, that does wonders for the program.
Lipscomb, one of the classes of the A-Sun. Team that's made a deep tournament run in recent years. Just went 5-9-2 last year, so an uncharacteristic slump for Charles Morrow's team. Coach Morrow now in his 16th season, the two-time A-Sun Coach of the Year.
Here we
Spicer on the far side, and you can already see he is a problem with the pace that he brings at that left side position. And it is a corner kick for Lipscomb.
I like that they're looking for him already, though. Freshman just came in January, as Coach Morrow said. But if they're picking him out in the first 10 minutes of the game, you know he's going to be doing something special.
Spicer already seeing time with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Could very well find himself in some World Cup qualifiers in the future.
Could be playing in Nashville in 2026 if Nashville were to get the bid.
And disputed real estate right at the edge of the 16, excuse me, the 6-yard box. Javon Smith makes a short run, and Smith with his back to the target. Rolling back for Robinson. Priest lofting the ball towards Lopez, and he watches it out.
You can see sort of that nerves in this beginning, first 10 minutes. Lipscomb with a few blocked passes, trying to play out of the back. But like you said, 400 days, that's a long time to play without a game. Long time.
Lipscomb returning just 5 goal scorers from last year. Their strength is in their back line.
Ooh.
Hefty collision on the far side as Robinson going down. On a crisp, cool February night. College soccer, the season will have the reverse temperature effect that it normally does, where it starts out on blazing hot August nights. And in some cases, in some seasons, has ended in ice storms. And here we are starting on a February chilly night. What is the premier temperature for a player?
Oh, a cold Tuesday night in Stoke. I would say, honestly, 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. That's perfect, man. You know, like you can run all day. We had a guy in USL who he'd look up to the sky and he'd be like, I can run for days. Knew by the weather. That's when you want to do fitness tests.
Foul called on Javon Smith. Just look at the size of this Evansville team. This is Baptiste Foust. You can tell they did not skip any time in the weight room during the 400-day break.
They drank their milk as well. If I'm them as well, I'm using that opportunity. I know they took it a little bit quickly, but I would get your center back in, get 17 in as well, 4, get some of your bigger players in and try and make the most out of that set piece.
Here's Golden, the captain. Lopez. Skewed out by Guillen. And so far, Taylor, for an Evansville team that just won 2 matches last year and have lost a combined 13 straight games dating back to the last calendar season, their first 10 minutes have been impressive on the road. They have been the protagonists so far.
I like what I'm seeing. They're compact, they're organized, they're sticking to their game plan, they're closing down well. They're making it hard from Lipscomb. Great ball there, though.
Golden trying to ship a player down the far flank, and it was Hayes Wood who went down. Referee disinterested.
I'll tell you this, it's saying something when your goalie is smaller than 3 of your field players. That's impressive.
It is a massive
I can't get
Evansville team. Midfield looking more like a linebacker's unit.
Do they have a football team there?
They do not. Spicer on the run. Spicer on his left foot. Cuts it back, lays it in front for Wood. And it was a necessary defending. And you can already see the impact of Spicer's pace and also the creativity. Lopez can't control. Kalala can. Honoré Kalala, sophomore from Denmark, has citizenship both Denmark and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And here is Spicer again making inroads down that far side, trying to turn the corner. Squared it into a tantalizing position, and now Evansville a chance to break out. One back by Priest. Now Golden.
Good patience from Lipscomb here. Great build-up play to that cross.
Bison's picking the lock, looking for that incision point. We asked Charles Morrow, the Lipscomb coach, did he expect Evansville to sit back, coming off a year where they struggled significantly and conceded plenty of goals, and he just didn't know. There wasn't a lot of film, wasn't much to study, a lot of new personnel for Evansville, and I'll tell you, when you go into a match, rarely at the college level, at the professional level, even all the way down to the high school level now, do you not have much intelligence on the other team. This is one of those cases where you just don't know what they're going to bring out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I didn't watch film on a team, So for them to not know anything, the best thing that I think that Lipscomb can do is stick to their guns and stick to their strengths, I'm interested to see how much of the ball can Spicer see before they realize this kid's going to be an issue. And we're highlighting him a lot because I think he's going to live up to the expectation. Those first 2 runs, blistering pace, even gets the cross off on the left foot. Don't know if he's left-footed yet, but still, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Spicer has been clocked at over 21 miles per hour.
I'd like to race him.
I'm sure he would oblige. He's a little more dressed for the occasion tonight than you are.
I know. I got my cleats in the car. Oh, here he goes.
Oh, here is Spicer. It's still Spicer. He's gone careening into an Evansville defender. It has sent the entire Lipscomb bench up in protest. And Spicer down on the floor. There is no foul. It will be a throw-in for Lipscomb.
I loved what I see there, too. I know he's down, but the composure with pace. As a player who plays with pace, you know, you love to see the technical ability and the technical side of someone who has that pace. I'm hyping this kid up, but I'm excited for him.
Charles Morrow saying, I don't know if we'll ever see a faster player in this program.
Whew. In the previous game, we saw the most composed player. Now we see the fastest player. Lipscomb's producing talent.
Smith drawing the interest of two defenders and has produced another corner kick for Lipscomb as both teams seeking the breakthrough in the first 15 minutes. So far, just one shot came from Evansville, none on target.
Let's see what they do here. They had a little bit of a trick play. Ball to the front post. Early run. Back post ball?
Comes the corner, lofted into a good spot and headed to safety. As far as Priest. Lofted in the direction of Spicer. The back post run was arriving from Golden, who was lurking up from his outside back position. It will be another corner kick for the home side. All right, when you're playing a team that's got two players at 6'6" or above in its starting lineup, what is the blueprint for the corner kick?
Honestly, I think you have to run a little bit of trickery. Yeah, something like this where you play short, you come back, you get them to come up to the 18, and then you play the second ball in right when they're least expecting and when they're sort of on their heels. That can take away from their height advantage. And you got to be patient.
Flow of the game now tilting in the direction of Lipscomb as they pry away on this right side. Cars go whizzing by on Shackelford Road. We're down on the playing surface. Really good surface. Surface that you've played on during your time here in Nashville. When the men's national team comes and plays games here in Nashville, this is the field that they choose to train on. Flag is up. As Jacob Hall was in with the flag up on the far side.
I'm impressed, honestly, with Evansville compactness. If you look at them, look at how they shift as a team, communicating, moving as a unit. This is a Gary Smith team. Yeah, that's that height. There's that height. You can't go over the top against the guy who's 6'6".
So what do? You
got to be patient, build up, and then get opportunities like this.
Turned over by Evansville, and now here is Wood. He has been sliced down, and that will surely draw the whistle of the official. And careless clearing from Evansville. And Lipscomb with a set piece in a prime position. Enough off the end line to keep the goalkeeper Jacob Madden honest. And Kalala, the center back, the nose for goal, has strolled his way into the penalty area. Golden and Lopez standing over. It is Lopez with the left and Golden with the right foot. Two-man wall for the visiting Purple Aces. The area in front of Madden congested.
Garvey's going to eat up anything near post. You got to run a pick. free.
Lopez, back post. Well, what were the intentions of it? We may never know. It was enough to draw the interest of the goalkeeper, Jacob Madden. And he cautiously watched it out as a player was bearing down on the back post.
Lopez with the Nashville SC connection. Saprissa Youth Academy. Same as Randall Leal.
Alejandro Lopez, the Costa Rican, 5 starts last year. Not expected of him this season. Coming from the same youth academy as your teammate, as you said.
Smooth, too. Like what he's doing on the ball.
Really the top youth academy in Costa Rica. Produced a lot of big names in that country's history. The Ticos.
Ticos.
As they are called.
Now look at this right now. Look at where Spicer is, and look at how much space he has. If I'm Lipscomb, up, back, I'm spraying the ball out wide to him. Let's see if they do it.
Kalala went lunging in. Did not make contact, but the covering defense from William Turner. .20-minute mark. Both teams still seeking their first shot on target, let alone their first goal of the season. One back by Wood. Weaving his way through, trying to blow right past Garvey. The cross in front of the frame of goal. And Spicer tracking back to defend. He can absolutely fly. It looks so casual and easy for him. And a miscommunication on the throw-in.
I know we've talked about Spicer, but I'm also impressed with Wood. Wood's gotten off 2 crosses. Great drop of the shoulder. And that's the thing, when you play against a guy like Garvey and like Decker, like huge guys, you have to be able to incorporate a little bit of trickery to get past them. Because they're going to throw their shoulder into you. They're going to throw their arm to get in front of you. So it's not, as big as they are, it's not always the best to be the fastest player.
Wood is no small man either.
No, he's not.
He's also been hitting the weight room during the 400-day hiatus.
Buys and tries.
You don't get to choose when it's leg day, do
No.
you?
No.
It's always leg day.
It's always leg day. For a footballer. Great ball.
He's curled in. Smith for Spicer. The freshman lining up the drive, and he scores! The Bisons have the breakthrough. A moment they've only seen on the back of their eyelids for over 400 days. It is now reality. And in his debut, Tyrese Spicer, the freshman from Trinidad and Tobago, it did not take him long to announce himself here in Nashville. 1-0 to the Bisons.
I love everything about the finish from Spicer. Calm, cool, collected, but you have to give a lot of credit, a ton of credit to Smith. Honestly, the composure that he had to take that ball down in the middle of the park and then put the ball through the defender's legs right to Spicer. All he had to do was slot it home. Well done from both of them. And great ball in as well.
And Spicer's a player that his coach, Charles Morrow, just raved about when we talked to him. We talked to Charles Morrow earlier in the week. We talked to him on the field tonight. We said, which players are you most excited about? And each time he brought up the talent of Spicer and really thinks they've got something special.
I was going to say, I'm interested to see how Evansville responds. Will they be deflated? Will they try and press a little bit? They've been on their heels for the last 10, 15 minutes.
Evansville trying to break. Destroyed by Kalala. Golden sends it through for Javon Smith, and the flag is up.
Close one there.
Lipscomb has so much pace on this team. You've got Spicer bearing down the left. You have Smith running up the corridor. You have some steal with Hayeswood. A tough team to defend.
Liverpool-esque, one may say. Liverpool-esque.
And you just wonder, is this Evansville team constructed in a manner that can defend a squad like Lipscomb that has so much pace? Evansville much bigger, but they've gone over the top. The flag is up. This will not count. It was
I
close.
don't know about that one.
But it will not count. Flag is up. And no complaints from Nkosi Graham. Usually if the player doesn't complain, right?
Oh, never. It's always the ref. The ref's always wrong. 9 might have been off, but 14 for Evansville.
That's Graham.
Graham, yeah, I thought he started his run in before.
He gave the thumbs up to the assistant referee. Would you ever do that?
Never, never. Especially if I scored.
There they go again for Spicer. Necessary defending on the far flank. And a foot race now.
Another thing to note too, look at the height comparison between the right back and Spicer. Like if I'm Lipscomb, I'm taking the ball out wide here. I'm giving it to Golden. I'm playing it into the midfield and then trying to slip him in behind. You can unbalance them very easily with a shifted play. Because look, watch how far the right back's coming over. He's leaving Spicer.
Lipscomb going route one and headed down to Madden. Evansville played 18 games last year. Only scored in 13 of them. Went 0-10 in the conference.
I'll tell you this, John. I don't think they go 0-10 this year. I know they're down right now, but they're showing a lot of promise.
Trying to claw their way back in. That's blasted over. And that was Colasito. So Lipscomb with the 1-0 advantage. Tyrese Spicer is the difference for the Bisons. Team picked to finish second in the ASUN preseason poll. Just 5 wins last year, though. Broke a 2-year streak of making an appearance in the NCAA tournament. It's the first technically competitive match of the season for Lipscomb. They did play 2 exhibition games. A 1-1 draw against UAB and also a 2-0 exhibition victory against Mercer.
And when we spoke to Coach Morrow, he said he expects them to come out how they came out against UAB, which was confident. First game against Mercer, he even said some of the players were, oh, Coach, this is our first game back. And, you know, we know those jitters, you know.
Flag up again. As Nkosi Graham still working on his timing.
He wasn't giving the thumbs up there, I'll tell you that. He said something else.
Always the worst when you find out you're offside after making the 50-yard run.
You know what's worse is when you make the 50-yard run and you don't get the ball. You're onside. I'll tell you that. Coming from a fullback. Evansville's a little upset right now. You can tell by the body language, some of the players yelling at each other. They just got to stay calm and collected. Game's not over.
Combative play in the midfield, and Lopez screaming away. He's got Spicer to his left, making an incisive run. It stays with Lopez. And the pass was there for Spicer, and Lopez neglected to make it.
There's that run when you don't get the ball.
I don't think Spicer's going to have a hard time finding the ball in this match. Here he is again. Right side, Wood, offside. Could not hold his run. And the sophomore from Chattanooga. He played in the center last year, which you can tell by his build. Now plying his trade on the near flank. Charles Morrow telling us he's good in one-on-one situations, productive player.
I love a good 1v1 attacker. Steve Guppy-esque.
Just got to drop the shoulder, right?
Drop the shoulder, that's all there is to it. Trick yard shot.
Spicer oozing with confidence.
I like Lipscomb's first thought. It's always forward. They'll possess for a few passes and then they'll go forward. And they don't do the Arsenal thing where they pass around the 18. They're really trying to get crosses in and get in behind like right now.
They continue to apply the pressure. It is Wood, the first time service, right on top. And headed away back to Wood. Reclaims in the corner. Golden motoring forward. Golden's cross low and driven. Repelled as far as Priest. Spicer. Crossfield to Wood. Into the penalty area. Oh, how sweetly done this is by Lipscomb.
Beautiful.
And Golden's cross is pierced out of bounds. It will be a corner kick for Lipscomb. And some really inventive play from the Bisons. Corner kick number 4 for Lipscomb here in a first half that they have controlled for the majority of it. And Golden and Lopez standing over. It's a short run up in that corner. Back post. Heads go up. Lipscomb still working. And Priest did not. Apologize, this is Priest. Trying to switch off the referee, and a new rule this year. As much as the Evansville coaches are protesting, you could hear one screaming, "You're part of play" to the referee. The rule change is that if the ball hits the referee now in a position that creates a distinct advantage for another team, he or she is required to stop the play and perform a drop ball, which is exactly what they're doing here. So a couple new rules being implemented.
This is an interesting rule, I must say. One, I don't know if I'm behind.
Well, it's to prevent the goes off the referee and then the other team breaks in the opposite direction.
The FIFA goal.
The FIFA goal.
Good feet. Good feet there from Woods.
Fast-moving first half.
There it is. They're looking for him.
Spicer, he's going to be a problem. And Davis Peck has his hands full with Spicer. And Kalala went barging into the back of an Evansville player. That is Hall who went down. Garvey, hopeful service to a quite unemployed goalkeeper, and Michael Sibley, sophomore from London. As Coach Charles Morrow saying, we're just starting to see what he could be. He is the starting goalkeeper for Lipscomb. And now Lopez, chance to spring forward. Line of confrontation, 40 yards out of the goal. Lipscomb attacking. Turner. Spicer. How neat is he?
I think the more that you see a Spicer, the more that's going to start to happen. He's a guy who's technical and has a lot of pace. He's able to get out of situations like that, so people are just going to start to hit him.
And you've played with players from Trinidad and Tobago. You've played against players professionally from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
It's a style that's pretty congruent among most of that island's players.
Yep.
Speed, technical in some cases, and
speed, precision.
As we've seen on the international stage,
yeah,
sometimes can lead to some devastating effects.
Oh, the U.S. at the hand of it. Great national team.
You played against several of those players that featured for Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, yeah. Recently, Jamal Jack, who played against, I forget whoever played recently for them. He had a few call-ups, but one of the scariest players I've ever played with. I was happy he was my center back. No one ever got by him. Blistering pace. This is good from Evansville, though. You love to see them sort of put the ball on the ground.
Purple Ace is still building, and they've got numbers flooding forward. Recovering defense and necessary defending.
You can even
see that was Louis Robinson.
You can even see the winger mentality from Robinson. Wins the ball, immediately tries to open up on the right side, even though he's the left back.
And Lipscomb going to make substitutions. Spicer will head to the sideline, along with Smith.
It's a rest for both Spicer and Evansville.
And in for Lipscomb is Zarek Jakubowski, a junior. Only played 40 minutes last year after promising freshman year. And Austin Marful, a freshman from Warner Robins, Georgia, making his first collegiate appearance tonight. One that he's certainly waited for. Offside flag is up. And Evansville has brought in a player as well. Nicholas Likiwala, the redshirt junior from Paris. Redshirted after injury in the season opener last year. 13 goals in community college before transferring to Evansville. Golden. Where's the captain's armband? There's the ball that you've been asking for, Taylor. This time, though, Spicer's not there to see it. He's out.
I am liking what I'm seeing from Golden, though. He has a lot of composure on the ball, acting more as a point guard, center mid, than he is a right back. A lot of the attack coming from him.
What you'd expect from the first-team All-ASUN player, the defensive preseason player of the year for the conference. That ball out onto Shackelford Road. Done plenty of games here before where cars actually stopped, picked up the ball and threw it back into the stadium.
I feel like that's something that can only happen in the South.
Decisions to make here for the referee, and goal kick is the call. Evansville last year in its last 11 matches only scored 3 goals. Can they find one here? Oh, it's poked backwards towards the goalkeeper and Michael Sibley. And that was last touched by Bison, so a chance here on a set piece for the visitors.
Corner kick for the Aces.
And how do you defend this, Taylor, when you bring in 2 center backs at 6'6"?
2 center backs plus another guy who looks like he's 6'4". I mean, we're lucky they're sort of starting on the end line. As a smaller guy, you try and dig your arm into them, and hopefully they can't jump. This is a tough. This is where I think Evansville can score.
Corner launched in high and hopefully.
But you need good service.
And Kalala in a battle, he has won the free kick for Lipscomb.
And you can see Garvey putting his hands up like, dude, just hit me. He's got the height advantage on all of them.
And Garvey in discussions with one of his teammates, and that's Philip Johansson. And the two exchanging ideas on what was the optimal way to perform that corner kick. I've seen a little bit of chippiness internally for this Evansville team here in this first half.
They're definitely down a goal, and that's when all the unrest can happen. They just...
Well, they got to be careful with it here. Oh, lunging in was an Evansville player. Finds Wood, scooped along towards Lopez. Intricate footwork from Wood. Stoked back to Golden. Now Doherty. Left side is Robinson.
I'd like to see Robinson get a little bit more into the attack. You can tell he's technical. You can tell he's got pace. He used to be a winger. I'd love to see him get some crosses off. Maybe a switch of play here.
Turner scouting his options. Freshman from Nashville. Now here comes Lopez, trying to free that right foot. Oh, a tip save made by Jacob Madden, who was rooted to the spot. A simple palm to thrust the ball over the crossbar.
Distance on the corner kick.
And the result is a Lipscomb corner kick.
It's great build-up play from Lipscomb, though. You know, it's I want the ball to go wide always as a wide player, but you know, you love to see Lopez pick the ball up off a great pass from his center back, drive, draw two defenders, shoot. Shot, of course, if you can choose a side, that'd be ideal, but it's still a great pattern play.
Corner launched in from the far sideline. Well, that touched an Evansville player on its exit from the pitch. Nervy moment for the back line of the Purple Aces, and Lipscomb will reset. Hoisted in. Ball's got some torque on it as it matriculates to the corner. And a foul called on Lipscomb. They got their money's worth on it. And that was Wood.
He's been hitting the gym. I'll tell you this, though, John. Although Evansville has should be having the height advantage on every set piece, Lipscomb is more dominant. They're getting better opportunities off of them. And they seem way more dangerous. They just want it more.
Ryan Harris. Play continues.
Great play.
Kalala hemmed in. Bodies go falling. And a foul called on Kalala of Lipscomb. And it will be a free kick for Evansville. And Lopez, the Costa Rican, over to police. In a discussion with Raffaello Colasito of Evansville. Challenges flying in hard and heavy now. Under 3 minutes to go now in this first half. That Lipscomb has had the lion's share of possession of, and that they lead via the goal from Spicer. And now here is Wood, unlocking the defense on the near wing. First time service, and leaping to claim is Jacob Madden.
Love everything about that except for the delivery. Woods, who's had time and a lot more time than he thinks, probably could have taken an extra touch there, waited for them to get into the box and actually serve in a dangerous ball. But still, great build-up play. Golden again, creating the opportunities.
Lopez. Long ball trying to recruit the legs of Jakubowski. So no stoppage time here in this first half, as we are accustomed to in college soccer. What would you take, Taylor? Hard deadline countdown or some stoppage time?
Always stoppage time. I mean, that's when I feel like when all the goals for us come. Little security blanket always do more.
Now, can the Purple Aces find their way back here in this first half, or will it be Lipscomb who has the final say? That's really neat work on the far sideline, but out of the limits of play.
I think Evansville needs halftime. I think they're a little bit disjointed. They're getting mad at each other. Lipscomb's on the forefront. They need to reset. Unless they score here.
Lipscomb player down with less than a minute to play in this half. And what's the call here? Referee over. And he wants the clock stopped as a Lipscomb player got undercut. And don't know if the signal is that it'll be a throw-in or a free kick. Nevertheless, it will be Evansville to restart.
Is it a drop?
The call is a free kick for Evansville.
I need to keep up with FIFA laws and regulations.
Yeah, you do. It is your job.
It is my job. I thought it went up for a throw-in.
So it'll be a free kick for Evansville.
Okay. Foul on who? I think Robinson's even asking that. He's just walking away, though.
Team can't buy you a rule book? It's not in the budget.
It's in the new CBA. I think.
Might want to know these things. So here's the last chance, perhaps, of this first half for Evansville. 2 fist up from Sibley. Still work to be done. Ball bouncing in a dangerous area. And Lopez sending a teammate forward and slammed to safety by Evansville. And perhaps that was the final chance here of this first half. And the return to soccer on Shackelford Road, the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. When all of 2020 without a soccer season, there's going to be plenty of soccer here in 2021, both this spring season and then just a quick summer break before the fall season starts back up as regularly scheduled.
4 matches in 10 days. That's a lot more than what he had to deal with.
Cleared out with just seconds remaining.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And that should do this first half. So Lipscomb
0.
at halftime takes the 1-0 lead into the dressing rooms. Tyrese Spicer, the freshman from Trinidad and Tobago, dazzled in the first 45 minutes. His goal is the difference in a battle of 2 programs bound by the color purple. Lipscomb, right now the better one. 1-0, the Bisons lead at halftime. We'll put our headsets down. We'll talk to you in about 15 minutes as the teams take a break, and we do as well. Back at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex as we get ready for the second half. It is half number 4 of the day, as this is game 2 of the doubleheader to open the 2021 season that was supposed to begin last year. And now here we are in the final half of the season opener. John Freeman and Asheville SC winger Taylor Washington to bring it to you. And Taylor, Lipscomb leading 1-0 off the goal from Tyree Spicer, who stands closest to us now, 20 in purple. And if you look back at that first half, you'd say Lipscomb had the better of the opportunities, the better of the possession. If you're the Bisons, is it just more of the same here in the second half, or do you make any tweaks?
I really do think it's more of the same. I think sort of like how we were talking about the women's game earlier, can it be a little bit more polished? Can they switch the point of attack a little bit better? And honestly, Evansville hasn't even noticed how fast this kid is. You know, like they're leaving a lot of space open for him, and he's staying wide, which is a good thing. But as he starts off the half, he's tucking in a little bit more. Maybe that's a little bit more of a defensive shape.
Talking about Tyree Spicer, who is the star of the first half. His goal is the difference.
Only hyping him up just a little bit. Might want to race him after the game as well. He'll be tired.
Think we can arrange for a challenge?
He'll come into practice one day. I'm calling it.
Imagine he'll take the invite.
Yeah.
And if you're Evansville, where is the avenue back into this match?
To be honest, I think you got to play a little bit more route one. You got to try and catch Lipscomb on their back foot. You got to play the ball over the top, win the second ball, then play the ball out wide. Maybe just get a janky goal that way. You know, the possession-oriented against Lipscomb, who's sort of sitting back and able to counter and win those balls off of them, off Evansville mistakes. I think maybe they just need to be a little bit more route one, be a little bit more direct, get a janky goal. I'm a fan of the janky goal.
For the unhip like myself,
yes.
I know what the word means.
Yes.
For those
janky.
who might not, define janky goal.
Janky is when you kick the ball off someone's shins and still get the ball on the 1v1. You know, it's if me and this center back, I'm closing him down, it bounces off my leg, I get it, I pass it to my forward, and we score. You know, I think they just need to get a gritty goal, if that's a better word. Not the prettiest.
Keep going. Any more?
Busting out my thesaurus, if I can even say that word.
Lipscomb's starting lineup back out onto the field, including Spicer, along with Javon Smith, another speedy freshman that the Bisons employed in the first half.
Who had a big role in the goal. And I'd love to see him more also in the attack, being utilized, not just as a point man, but as a guy running in behind. If they're able to get the ball back up, lay it off to Lopez, who's able to find Smith running in, that would be ideal. I think that's going to be one of their game plans going forward.
Evansville deploying a long throw, and it has resulted in a corner kick. And this is where they thrive. Set pieces, towering targets in the box, several players at 6'4" or above. The premier target is Ethan Garvey, a sophomore from New Orleans who strolled in. Does have a goal last year. In fact, it was the last goal scored by Evansville in their 2019 season.
Maybe it's the first of this season.
And it is Johansson pumping the ball in. Could not clear the first man in Lopez. And again, Lopez repelling Evansville advances.
I know I'm being picky too, but I want to see Robinson get into the attack as well. Smith and Robinson having important halves for me is what could solidify this Lipscomb win even more so.
Johansson with the long toss. Well, it bounces in a tricky spot. Pumped away by Kalala. And now here they are testing the wheels of Smith. Slashed away by Madden.
Manuel Neuer in goal.
Plays that high line. And the offside flag was up.
That's another thing we've seen a lot of offsides today, both the men and women's game.
Is that a product of a long layoff? Is that a product of the style of play?
I'm going to give it to a little bit of both. You know, having been out of the college soccer game a little bit, I do remember a lot of balls over the top. However, having not played in 400 days, I'm going to give a little bit to that.
This is match number 1 of the year for Lipscomb. Obviously, it is one of 4 of their first 5 that they will play at home for a team that's won 2 of the past 6 ASUN titles. 10 upperclassmen, 20 underclassmen on the roster. And yes, that does sound like a young team, but kind of the way that college soccer goes, you see a lot of younger rosters. Sport where transferring is done quite freely compared to the more money-making sports like football, basketball, and you yourself transferred during your college days. But here is Evansville on the attack and just getting his feet tangled as the defending from Louis Robinson came at an important time.
Great defending.
And the Evansville player who inspired that attack was Jakob Hall.
If they scored there, that would have been a janky goal. Great ball after the jankiness, but.
It was nervous moments for Robinson, who was risking both a penalty and potentially even expulsion from the match. He fouled on a scoring opportunity. The new rules are that, not necessarily super new, but within the last several years, if it's a breakaway in the box and you're going for the ball and you foul the player, not necessarily a direct red card.
Seems fair.
Beats the double jeopardy, the red card, the penalty, and essentially
the Luis Suarez, I'm going to block the goal.
That would still be a red card.
Ah, dang it. So, I need that rule changed.
It's not an argument you can make. Please don't try it. It's not going to work.
John Freeman told me I could.
Yes.
This is another thing that I don't even remember from the college game. The 2 center backs passing the ball back and forth, waiting for the right moment to sort of go forward. I like to see that from 2 center backs. Good from Lipscomb. And quick play. Here we go.
Bison surging forward. Golden bombarding down the far side. Cross put into a tantalizing area towards Spicer. He's knocked it high into the Knights. And then a Lipscomb player goes down as Wood was bundled into by the goalkeeper, Jacob Madden. Now Wood had his ground right at the edge of the 6, and Madden went right into his back. And the referee siding with the goalkeeper. It is Wood who is down. I don't necessarily know if it's an injury or a shoe issue.
He might need some tape. Definitely a shoe. Keeper came out a little aggressive there. Went for the back. Surprised there was a foul on Lipscomb.
I feel like the keepers always get the benefit of the doubt. They can go flying into challenges. They can bring their knee up.
Tie goes to the keeper. So a tie goes to the keeper. And it's never even a tie. It's just the keeper. Evansville started decent this half.
You notice any changes, or is it attitude? Is it aggression? Is it personnel?
I think, honestly, a little bit more composure. They've gotten the ball down a little bit, and honestly, Lipscomb's been a little bit more route one. But I'm interested to see if that changes at all. There we go, a little bit more possession.
Turned over in the midfield. This is exactly what Evansville wanted with the high press, and they nearly slipped through. Their striker, Jakob Hall. And cleaning up his own mess was Turner. Spicer's been relatively contained here in the second half after running rampant in the first.
It's going.
And Spicer, oh, big collision. As the knee of one player for Evansville went into the head of a teammate, and this is a scary situation as Ethan Garvey is down. That is a scary collision. As Garvey had gone sliding down, and you can see his teammate also grabbing his knee, which was what collided with the head of Garvey. And Ryan Harris was the one that collided with Garvey. That is one scary collision.
I think he's okay. I think Harris is okay. Very scary collision there.
As Garvey, that's down, the sophomore from New Orleans. It's all Missouri Conference, Missouri Valley Conference freshman team last year, 6'6".
I don't think he goes down very often.
No.
Just hope he's okay, no concussion.
Shaking it off, and he will certainly go through the protocol. The question is, what was the result? I believe it was a throw-in for Lipscomb. And Evansville going to lose some height in its back line with Garvey heading out.
They almost look like a normal team.
So you lose a 6'6" player.
The field just got a lot smaller or bigger. I don't know what it is.
Pedestrian substitute coming in. We were down on the field in the pregame, and we looked over at Evansville and said, "You sure this school doesn't have a football team?"
Yeah. I think they loaned the middle linebackers.
So Einar Anderson in for Garvey. And freshman from Iceland seeing his first collegiate minutes.
Pronounce where the club he played for.
Keflavik.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just
No, the
outside.
club.
The club.
Where'd you book?
No, that one. I'm going to pass on that one. But he is from Keflavik, location of the
I'm
airport
impressed even
outside
by
of
that.
Reykjavik,
Ooh.
the capital.
Wow. Someone's been to Blue Lagoon.
Actually, I have. Thank you.
I want to see Spicer get more on the ball.
I didn't see much of it this half, has he?
I don't know if that has to do with how Lipscomb's trying. There it is. But Wood's getting on it.
Almost 10 minutes gone here in this second half. Robinson, junior from the UK. Team high 3 assists last year. Been asked to assume a bit more of a defensive role this season.
I like him, though. I like his movement. You can tell he moves like a winger, has the availability to get up into the attack, but he's adding a defensive side to his game.
Smith, after Lipscomb bypasses the midfield. Smith cutting onto his left foot. He's got Spicer to his left and could not locate his teammate. He's trying to go all alone. And a full-blooded challenge coming in. And now here comes Evansville, a chance to race the other way. Turning on the Jets is Graham. Was he hauled down? The answer is no.
That's not a foul.
And Lipscomb still having a hard time clearing its back line.
That's a case of a junior versus a freshman.
Game opening up. Lopez over the top for Spicer, who is onside. Spicer squares it back across for Smith. Evansville still not out of danger. And here we go in a back and forth battle. Evansville trying to break the other end, and some sturdy defending from the Bisons on the far flank. And another big challenge. And bodies go flying.
Game's getting chippy.
It sure is. And they have reached a flashpoint. And the intensity ratcheted up. Both teams with a player on the canvas.
Evansville's telling the assistant referee to wake up. I'm going to say hit the weight room instead. I don't know.
Not to the assistant referee. To
yeah, to 14. There's no foul there. Great defending by Robinson. Gets his arm out in front of him. Clear-cut, good defensive play.
Still trying to check on which Lipscomb player is down. Well, apologies, it is quite some distance away from us.
I think Golden.
Maybe Golden. Don't want to.
I think so. He made the overlap on the play. I don't see Woods, though, unless Woods is behind. Yep, Woods is over on the sideline. I think that's Golden. Crunching tackle, too. Fair, but crunching.
That is Golden. So Noah Golden, a junior from Germany, first team All-A-Sun. Still waiting on the return of his brother Scott Golden, who is out with a non-COVID related illness, working his way back to fitness as well. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Oh, man. 2020 was a year. I feel like it's still going.
And surely that is a foul, as Robinson, just a little nick on the back of his heels.
If they play quick, they can spring something. They're gonna look for Woods though. Nope.
No nonsense clearance from Baptiste Foos. And if there's a way back into this for Evansville, where is it, Taylor? You know, they don't have a lot of speed up top for a counterattack. You've seen their lone number 9, Jakob Hall, get run down by what is a fleet-footed backline of Lipscomb. Not building much possession either. You just wonder, where is the way into this game?
I think it's capitalizing.
Well, the foul's really coming in hard and heavy now.
This is chippy.
And the yellow card issued to Philip Johansson. And a sarcastic applause from the Lipscomb faithful. And that's a yellow card that's been in the making.
And needed. The ref needed to get a hold of the game. If he didn't give a yellow card there, another tackle goes by, another tackle might go by, and someone's getting injured. So he needs to nip that in the butt right there. But to answer your question, before the free kick, I really think if Evansville can string a few passes together and then capitalize on a Lipscomb mistake, because Lipscomb hasn't been as clean on the ball as they were in the first half. I really think that they can spring something. And 14 for Evansville, Graham. He's got a little bit of pace to him. Maybe he can create something and connect with Hall. So we'll see. It's just not going in the momentum of Evansville.
A second goal for Lipscomb would be devastating to this Evansville traveling squad. Whipped in low and hard and greeted by Harris. Robinson. Golden back up and moving. Golden's cross floated in towards Spicer and over the Islanders' head. And Evansville a chance for that breakout.
This is the janky.
Here they come. Numbers flooding back for Lipscomb. And the counterattack dissolves at the feet of Kalala.
And I think right there is their issue. Right there is their issue. They're able to get past the first line, but that second line isn't in. They're not getting past it. They're not being clinical enough. They're not connecting that final pass that's going to be able to create them a real scoring opportunity. At least they're communicating.
Long ball seeking Spicer. Important intervention from Brunetti of Evansville. One back by Spicer and expertly switch into the path of Golden. Finding space on that far flank. Could not get his way around the defender. And Lipscomb reloads by moving backwards.
Can they switch it though?
Game starting to hit a bit of a lull.
Champion for the Aces, number 19.
And
I was hoping Garvey was coming back, but I think that could have been the thing for Evansville as well. They lost pretty much their vocal leader and a presence on the field. If Lipscomb's going to score a goal, now's really the opportunity to. Does look like he's taking off his warm-up top, though.
talking about Garvey.
Yep.
Spicer trying to turn on the speed. And who did that last touch? It is off of Spicer, so Evansville's throw. Johansson's got to be careful too. Not only does he have the speed of Spicer bearing down, he is carrying a yellow card now.
If I'm Spicer, I'm saying give me the ball because I'm doing a step over and a drop of the shoulder, and I'm hoping he lunges in and catches me. Red card, or I beat him and go to goal. He's a freshman though, so he's got to want it.
There you go. That's what you wanted. Spicer's early service towards Lopez.
Alluring.
Congestion at the edge of the 18. Now popped in. And it was nearly Smith latching on. Alert goaltending from Jacob Madden. Day that started with a women's soccer match. Lipscomb falling to Lee University, Division II Lee University. It was about 50 degrees when we broadcasted that match. Sun was peeking through the clouds.
We had our Chipotle.
Now thanks to your delivery services. And now we are apparently just hours away from potentially snow here in Nashville.
This is a Nashville thing. I've realized this from 4 years of living here. It can be sunny and then snow all on the same day. It's like we're living in Neverland. But I was wrong before with Lee also. I really thought Lipscomb had the game under wraps, possession-oriented. Everything was heading their way, but Lee put two good chances together and were able to capitalize.
Talking about the women's match.
Game, yeah.
And this match almost has a similar feel. Now, I know that the score lines were different, and Lee was ahead in that match for a lot of it, and Lipscomb eventually equalized before Lee found the winner. But it has the feel of Lipscomb was dominating the possession. They had the majority of the shots.
Yep.
Yet they allow the opposition to hang around.
Yep.
And that's how this match is going, too.
And you hate to give a team like Evansville any type of service. I mean, I know Harvey yeah.
Oh, now we got it coming together.
That is Shippy.
And the card out as Robinson was involved for Lipscomb for holding on to the ball. And Johansson didn't like it. Now, Johansson, remember, is on a yellow card. And he was upset that Robinson was unwilling to get the ball back. Well, it's a just yellow card. Now, Robinson is saying, well, are you going to give another one out? And if he does, for Johansson, that would be the end of Johansson's night.
Lopez saying he's sticking up for his teammate.
So Robinson gets booked.
Oh, I thought he reached.
Johansson
reached to the pocket.
Johansson stays unpunished.
He knew too. You could see he was standing away. He didn't want it.
The orange card, if you will. Now, if you're head coach Marshall Ray and you're putting it all together, you say, okay, Johansson has just been involved in confrontation. He's on a yellow card. Spicer's going to be coming at him for the rest of the match. Is there a point where you think about a substitution? Because going down to 10 men would absolutely demolish any chance of a comeback here for Evansville.
Completely. However, I will say this. I think Johansson has done a really good job of even combating Spicer's speed, and you can tell that he's someone that they try and build out of the back with for Evansville. He might be one of those fringe players that he's enough of a leader that you keep him on the field. But do you really and Spicer also came out with 20 minutes to go in the first half, so will he come out again? Will they make a substitution? Will he play the whole half? I think in the next 7 minutes we'll have an answer to that question. I think you keep him in, though. I do think you keep him in.
A rare venture forward into the attacking third for Evansville. Nearly finding an avenue through.
And that's been Evansville's problem. They get into decent areas, but they're not clinical enough to create that final pass or create that chance opportunity. But their work rate, you got to credit them for it, because right here it is.
Spicer could not control. A hefty midfielder Ryan Harris can. Back by Kalala, and Lipscomb now building triangles in the midfield. They try and seek out Spicer, who's asking a lot. And here is Spicer on his left foot. As the chance lost him, Spicer's cross over the frame of goal. And late arriving was Javon Smith. Now, Johansson really does have a problem now with Spicer.
Yeah. That's how they need to exploit him. They need to go over the top.
Play continues. Javon Smith gets by his defender, and Javon Smith buries it. The Bison burst further in front. And both goals coming from freshmen. The first collegiate tally for Javon Smith. In the first years leading the way in 2021. Lipscomb surges further ahead. It's 2-0.
And you have to surely think that this is probably the end for Evansville. I was so busy thinking about my point on Spicer, I had no idea how Smith got the ball. But when he did, great play, great individual play to get past him. Slots home the finish. Calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool, collected 2 finishes from 2 freshmen. Bright future.
Really exciting freshmen as well, full of pace. And you just look at the way that this Lipscomb team is constructed. Exciting attacking fullbacks, strength in the middle of the pitch, the playmaking and composure of Lopez, and then the speed up top when you've got Spicer on the left wing, and now the goal-scoring Javon Smith.
This is how I think teams are trying to build teams even at the pro level, right?
Oh, Lipscomb smells blood in the water now, and Johansson really with some quality defending. Turn right back over. This is a fun time if you're a player, too.
Oof.
Up 2-0, opener. You've got a team with your foot on their throat. And that ball sent, oh, watch out for your car.
Good thing we moved it. Thank God for softball. We didn't want to be hit by that.
Taylor referencing when we showed up. We parked our cars right by the softball facility, and we were very quickly aware that that probably wasn't the best place to park your car while the batting practice was happening.
Little did we know the goalkeeper would be clearing the ball there as well.
Well, it is frantic action on the far wing, and players being sived down all over the place, and another yellow card out. And the yellow card going on Thomas Priest of Lipscomb, becoming the second player to be cautioned.
No indication that that Garvey's going to be coming back onto the field either.
He is, looks like bundled up on that far sideline.
Yeah, that's a loss for Evansville for sure.
Our crew of children has retrieved the ball from the parking lot.
If I may quote them, they said, "I got the goods." They're going home with something tonight. Exact words.
They are not going home. They're not.
No, that's when you keep it. Don't give it
returned
back.
it. Negotiations have failed, and they gave it back for free. Oh, dropped. Chance here. And cleared away as the ball went through the hands of Sibley. And The volley slashed over the crossbar. That could have nearly been the lifeline that Evansville craved. And Jakob Hall could not steer it on target. Well, he could steer it on target, but two Bisons were there. Stop it over the goal line, and Lipscomb going to make some substitutions. And Ryan Winquist will come in. Redshirt freshman making his debut after redshirting last year. And Zarek Jakubowski, the junior, back in after appearing in the first half.
This is where Evansville's disjointed.
Long switch, and the Bison's bearing down. Here's the substitute, Jakubowski on his right foot. Overlapping is Golden, puts the shoulder into his defender.
Great defending, though.
Really muscular defending from Evansville. And again, disputes over the ball. There's something between these two teams. I don't know exactly what the flashpoint was, Taylor, but
I think I overheard one of them saying that my color purple is better than your color purple, but I could be wrong. That's just me.
that was the debate.
Yes.
And is that what?
And who has a better KD and COD? Just going to say it.
So Evansville, oh, they found a way through, but the flag is up again. And this time, Harris is displeased. And it looks like the Evansville coach as well, Marshall Ray, was screaming over from the sideline, and he's going to get a discussion with the official.
And a yellow. Oh!
Oh, uh-oh. And the
Yellow
card coming
or?
out. And what color will it be from the referee?
He's
the
putting on
mask
his
was coming in.
mask.
Putting on his mask.
COVID times.
To talk.
He's getting a COVID card.
Only in 2021 does the back pocket not mean a red card. It means a mask to come over.
I'm going to talk to you.
And that is.
And now he's putting the
started
mask.
reaching for the back pocket. We're all like, oh no. Here goes the.
And the mask is back in the back pocket, not the red. Man.
That is the most 2021 moment
Yeah.
we've seen in soccer. Reaching for the back pocket.
Did
put on the mask.
Did he reach back and put the mask back on to talk to Lipscomb is my
I
question.
believe. Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
I
Equal
still
distribution.
They're talking about whose purple's better. This is the conversation. Love the switch though from Robinson to spring that attack. Evansville disjointed in their defensive organization. Robinson's able to turn acres of space, picks up his head, great ball.
Here we go. Back underway. Discussions complete. Debate's over. And the ball back in motion. Spicer was taking the pass from Killian Byrne.
He just has that excitement when he gets near the ball, Spicer.
Priest. Bringing Golden forward. Priest splits two defenders. And Lipscomb humming now. Golden pondering the cross. One of the best spells of possession we've seen from the Bisons.
Good, and the switch is coming, which is what they needed.
They locate Robinson. Time to think for Turner.
I know they're up 2-0, but can he turn here? Doesn't need to play back. All right, that's fine, but question is, do they want to put the nail in the coffin?
Well, they left themselves exposed here, trying to play out of the back. Spicer recovering to defense. He's done enough to force Pavlik into an error. And Lipscomb back in possession. It's exhausting now for Evansville, just trying to chase this game. The quality that Lipscomb has on the ball.
They do have moments, though. They have a few moments of being able to capitalize on these Lipscomb errors. Over possession is a thing, but when you're up 2-0, I guess you got to do it. There you go.
Jakubowski. Was he brought down? Yes. Free kick for Lipscomb. Within striking territory. We'll see how many Bisons camp over the free kick.
Is it going to be Golden? Or Spicer? Oh, Spicer looking for a sub.
And Spicer, is he hobbling?
Oh, man.
Checking in for Evansville, number
And
3.
Evansville bringing back Ethan Garvey. So good to see him up and moving after what was a scary collision. And Lipscomb going to make
Also
a
in for the Aces, number 4, Evan Decker.
sub, we assume, with Spicer. And I think his hobbling was actually his shoe was coming undone.
Oh.
So he's
Damn.
addressed that issue. And now Spicer will head to the
Also in for the
sideline.
Aces, number 10, Leonardo Barba.
Well, actually, I apologize. By the time Spicer got to the sideline, he again was hobbling. So let's hope it's some sort of
Seeing the
shoe
physio.
issue. Now there's 3 Bisons standing over this set piece.
If I'm Robinson, I'm asking to take this. He can strike the ball really well, but he's wide open out wide.
Ryan Doherty is the one standing over.
Look at Robinson.
Well, it's taken quickly off the crossbar, but headed back in. And for the second time tonight, Javon Smith strikes. He played the bounce with perfection, and the result is a brace for the freshman. And the Bisons stampeding now. It's 3-0.
Just how they drew it up, right off the crossbar, header. That was right from the training ground.
And it all started with the quickly taken free kick, which caught the goalkeeper, Jacob Madden, by surprise. And then the freshman there to tuck it home. And how about this for Lipscomb? 3 goals, all by players making their collegiate debut. And could they add a 4th here?
I would.
There's just some strikers that have the instinct. They always find a way to be where they need to be. And you just get that feeling a little bit, Taylor, with Javon Smith.
Yeah. He's been involved in all 3 goals. Will he be involved in the 4th? And that's the definition of a striker's goal. He follows the play. He's in the right place, reading the play correctly. Kid's got a bright future.
So Javon Smith, his 2nd goal tonight. His brother was an All-American at Clemson. You may see him next year, drafted in the Major League Soccer draft.
Ooh.
This year?
What team? Do we know?
Do not know.
Not
Off
us,
the top
I
of
know
my head.
that.
That's true.
I would know. Another great thing is, too, these kids who do get drafted, availability to play in the spring.
Yes. Here is Lipscomb. They've unlocked Evansville again. This is Marfel. Stirred it wide and high. Could never get it to settle onto his shooting foot.
I think he saw 4-0 before the scoreboard did. He had Smith in the middle, too, for that early ball. I would have loved to seen it. But I think that's that next level of thinking that can separate some good players from even the better players.
So Lipscomb going to make substitutions. Zarek Jakubowski out and Hayes Wood back in. This is a brief shift for Jakubowski. And more collisions on that far sideline. There's just something about that 30-yard pocket over there that has turned into the wrestling ring. Now, these are scary times, Taylor, for players who are just getting back into the match. into match fitness. They've been off for so long. And the hard part about this season, it's not like yours that are 9 months long where you get injured for 6 weeks, and that's only 20% of the season. You get injured for 6 weeks in this season, and your year's almost done.
Yeah.
So teams need to be careful with their management of players, not pushing them too far. And for Lipscomb, it's comforting to be ahead 3-0, and you can see the numbers being prepared.
Yeah.
The throw in here.
You can get guys like Spicer off, maybe Smith, maybe. Jeez. He's strong, though. He's going to get fouled here, though.
They were trying.
Yeah, they were trying. But you can get guys like Spicer off. That's the beauty of college soccer. With all the subs, you have the availability to do that, something that we don't have at the pro game. And plus, man, someone who was injured for 6 weeks in their senior year of college, missing games sucks.
Here's Kalala, wide for Golden. Golden's cross was again seeking out Javon Smith, who continues his quest for a debut hat trick.
Now, I know I was about to say I wanted to see him more involved.
Smith awaiting the service, and Golden attempted it, and the result is a corner kick.
I think this is the time when everyone's thinking, can I get on the stat sheet? Can I add to the tally, and can I add to my own personal tally?
And Lipscomb is ruthless. They are sending up their center back in Kalala.
Bison's on the corner kick.
I can remember when we used to play games like this in college. You're dying for these corner kicks and dying for the for the counterattack.
You saying you were down a lot? 3-0.
Nah, the opposite. One game in particular, up 4-0 against Denver, first half. Didn't get the score, though. Great touch.
Ball finally settles. That is an exquisite touch from Golden. Your player of the match so far, Taylor. We've got 15 minutes left.
That's tough.
A lot of candidates. You got the 2 goals from Javon Smith.
I
Golden has been superb.
Yeah. I'll say it after this play.
Oh, Golden, the dummy to let the ball roll through. And now Smith for 3. Clings it off a defender. That would have been the peach of the bunch.
Statistically speaking, I think you have to go with Smith as well. Been involved in all 3 goals, but for me, Golden's a close second. Involved in every attack, involved in defense, stout in his play. You know when you give it to him, he's not going to lose the ball. Puts decent balls in like that.
I gave you every chance to pick the wing back.
I know, and that's what I didn't want to be so clear cut, but as a wing back, you always want to give it to the guys who don't always get on the stat sheet and always do the little things. But I think you got to go with Smith, involved in all 3 goals.
A long ride back for Evansville, several hours north. Still looking to break what is a losing streak that is now stretching all the way back from 2019. 13 straight games without a win for Evansville. Although many of the players on this roster brought in over the long break to inject some pace and ability and technique into this Evansville squad, a program that has one of the better histories of all mid-majors. A program that is primed to get back to where it once was, but still trying to find the answers in the 7th year of Marshall Ray. And it's an alum of Evansville, was an assistant for a decade, actually played professional soccer here in Nashville for the Nashville Metros, as we said.
Can they score?
Goal would go a long way in launching Evansville's year. Remember, just 3 goals in their last 11 matches combined, dating back to last year. They only returned 5 players that scored a goal last year. So you think about just who they mine in their roster for goal scoring this year, the question is still yet to be answered.
And I think their game can be summed up in that play, right? Like a half chance, a half opportunity, something that came out of sort of nothing. But again, it's the first game of the season. You know, you hope to think that they'll click when time comes and conference play comes, but right now, I think they still need to work on putting the pieces together. And they're playing against a good Lipscomb team who's able to play out of the back like this.
For another player, when I was asking you who is your man of the match, Kalala, the center back. Got a good silky touch. Look at this switch.
It's a great ball.
Right onto the chest of Louis Robinson. And Lipscomb using the entire width of the pitch.
Ooh.
Evansville in trouble. Winning it back was Kyle Sutton. And a full-blooded challenge has sent the ball out for a corner kick.
Exquisite tackle, though. Happy to pull up the shorts after that one. I know those tackles well.
So it'll be a corner kick for Lipscomb. This will be corner kick number 8 of the evening.
I'm gonna make a guess, John. I think that Lipscomb leads their conference in corner kicks. Between Smith, between Spicer, the availability to get down the line, even with Golden on the right, they're gonna get a lot of crossing opportunities. And the way that they play, I wouldn't be surprised if they lead the conference in corners.
And what's interesting last year, so Evansville goes 2-15-1 last year. They only scored 13 goals in 18 games. For whatever reason, statistically, Evansville actually took more corner kicks than their opponents, which you rarely see in teams that are so significantly outscored.
Yeah, and that finished 2-15.
So the fact that Lipscomb has amounted such a large share of the corner kicks tonight does speak to your point.
Happy to see Robinson get into the attack there. Even though it didn't come to anything, I like that he made the run in. I think he has a lot to offer this team as well as Golden has tonight. Maybe it's just the lefty connection.
For Robinson, is it easier to go from playing an offensive position to a defensive position? Or is it harder to pick up if you've been a long time outside back and you're asked to move into the midfield?
That's a great question. I think it's easier to go from an attacking position to a defending position. One, you can learn to play defense. Some of the attacking qualities and mindsets you can't really teach at a later age. I mean, look at Dan Lovitz, former winger, moved to left back, now national team left back. Same for me as well. Used to be a winger, still am a winger, but more of a left back. And we're able to get into the attacking third. And if you look at more teams, more college teams, more pro teams, they're looking for guys who can attack from the wing, attack from these positions, fullback positions. It's becoming an art, and it's becoming more common, which is sad. I'll say one thing too for Evansville. Evan Decker, he's been a quiet, unsung hero for them. Playing out of the back, creating opportunities, being a positive force for them. On a day where they didn't really have a lot going for them, I think he could be a spark or something like a Robinson or a Golden for them in the future.
Decker, the junior from Ontario, the Canadian, two-time All-Conference at Malone College, one of the many transfers that Evansville has. Ooh, this is some kind of scrum.
I don't know if anyone knew where the ball was.
Not for the faint of the heart.
There he is. There's my guy.
Now the flag is up, not for offside, but because Carl Bumbo was being pulled on, and the Parisian has drawn the free kick for Evansville. And if there's any way back into this match, or any way to find a consolation, perhaps a set piece is the opportunity.
I think, yeah. Any hope that they have. A good service, though. They haven't been putting good balls in.
Cross pumped in and curled. Died right on top of the penalty area. And away by Louis Robinson, who continues to shine. tie up on the far side. And this one does draw the foul.
Rightly so.
As twice on the floor was Nkosi Graham. Okay, now you're down 3-0. You know the committee for this set piece is going to be full of debate.
Yep.
How do you win that debate?
You got to get there first. I'll tell you that. So who's on the ball right now? I can't see. I know 10 wants to take it. Graham's thinking, maybe I'll take it. But whoever's on the ball, he gained it.
Pablo Guillen.
Pablo Guillen. And honestly, as a lefty, I think this is ideal. Curl, hit hard.
Comes a hit from Guillen.
Nah.
He had the curl, he hit it hard, but it
Yeah.
lacked in accuracy.
Just not cultured. Not cultured enough. Learned that over the year. Get a coachable turn.
So debates over who takes a free kick, those aren't decided at training. They're
at
discussions.
At our level, yeah.
At our level, they're determined at training and determined.
Way in the beginning of the year. Penalties, I think, happen with the success rate.
But free kicks, there's no question in my mind. Hani Mukhtar or Dan Lovitz. Lovitz has a wicked, nasty free kick. And I hate to keep saying it, but for me, Evansville, that kind of free kick has been their night. It's been half-hearted, and I'm not bashing that the way that they've played hard, but it hasn't just been put together and hasn't been cultured, and you've had too many moments like this.
And bailed out by the whistle. And this game, boy, if both teams can get out healthy, a really bruising encounter. Barba over the top, and a chance here for the breakthrough. Now, did the goalkeeper, Wilson, come off his line? Did he handle this ball? Did he foul the player? There is plenty of discussion to be had. Now, the yellow card is out. And there is plenty to take into account here. So where did the foul occur? Was Wilson denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? Is it a penalty? Right now, the answer for is it a penalty is yes. So the spot has been pointed to. And now here's the interpretation of the rule that we talked about earlier in the half. So if Wilson, or excuse me, if Sibley is off of his line, I apologize. If Sibley, the goalkeeper, is off his line and fouls the player intentionally
Yes.
for a direct goal-scoring opportunity. No, I apologize.
I thought it was a free kick. If I'm being completely honest, Graham went down softer than he had on previous plays. I didn't think that Sibley did anything to pull him down. He hit the ball into him, if anything.
So Sibley gets the yellow card.
He
was attempting to tackle the ball, so therefore no red card.
Yeah.
And double jeopardy of a penalty and a red. Nevertheless, it is
I wish we
a penalty kick for Evansville. And converted.
Great PK.
Pablo Guillen. And Evansville does have its goal. And Lipscomb, its defiance and clean sheet shattered late into this match. It's a long road back for Evansville. 4:23 still left in this match. The result most likely out of the question. But a lifeline for a team that did not score many goals last year. Just 13 in 18 games. And this is something to take back on the bus.
Definitely. You take this back on the bus. You take a goal with you. If you can get another one, that's great. But I honestly commend them for the way that they're finishing out this game. You can see everyone still on the front foot. They're really trying to press them still. You know, I still want to know the reasoning behind the penalty kick, though. I saw everyone lining up outside the box for a free kick. I don't know. I didn't know if it was a handball.
Well, if it was a handball, it would have had to have been outside the box.
Exactly.
Because if it's a handball, the goalkeeper can obviously handle the ball inside his
Yeah.
box. So the call was a contact foul in the box.
Okay. Graham got away with that one, I'll say it.
And Lipscomb now just going to have to see this game out. I've seen crazier things.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there is no stoppage time, obviously, so we are reaching a hard deadline.
Ooh. Brilliant.
And no way around. Louis Robinson. And here comes Robinson again.
There it is.
Oh, he has been special. Hangs it up, back post. And Hayes Wood collects on that far post. And Wood taking it to the corner. Bisons continue to press the issue.
And there's that ball from Robinson that I've been wanting all night. I saw it in the pregame warm-up. He's got great service.
Byrne on his left foot. Wide for Marfel. Marfel to the end line. The angle is acute, and he's manufactured the corner kick.
Marfel wants a goal. You can tell he wants that goal. He wasn't going to square it across. He was shooting the whole time.
A freshman from Georgia. Still waiting on a goal from an upperclassman tonight for Lipscomb.
All the freshmen want to score. Might have a special someone in the crowd. You never know.
And the clock is stopped as Marfel taking too much time. And they go short. Look out here if you're Robinson.
Yeah.
Not a fun position to be in. Oh, that is one crunching challenge from Winquist. And play continues. And the Evansville player down. And boy, we could hear that from up here. And the facial injury for an Evansville player. And that is Guillen, the goal scorer, checking his nose for blood. Boy, if these teams can just get onto the bus healthy,
Yeah, we
and
just
see out these next 3 minutes.
Yeah, we just don't want any more injuries. Garvey's was scary enough.
Now Garvey is back in the match.
Yeah. Thank God. Need a head. I've seen some bad ones.
And a slog to the finish here. Still waiting on the time to start. This might be the only league in the world that doesn't have stoppage time. College soccer in America. Also the only league in the world where everybody participating knows how much time is left.
Yeah. And you can sub as much as you want.
Kalala,
Oof.
really strong, smart defender. Boy, they've got all the tools, does Lipscomb.
Yep. I'm excited to see them grow. If this is the first game of their run, man, it's promising.
And just enough sandpaper in this team, too. Some grit,
Yeah.
some attitude, some aggression.
Yeah. You know, they're playing with a little bit of a chip. You've seen Robinson getting into it, tackle, Golden as well, Woods. Even their subs coming on. They're not playing with any fear. And that's the college game, though. One thing that, you know, I think I don't miss is that, like, I'll hit you late and I'll come in after, and you always got to watch yourself.
A lot of it comes from the substitutions.
Guys willing to prove themselves. They want to prove themselves to the coach. Hey, make me a starter.
And you're getting guys that come in for 10 minutes a shift
Yeah.
in the first half and run themselves ragged. And
Yeah.
it is really a combative setup
1
with
minute
the
left in regulation.
substitution patterns and also the roster sizes. Look at
Big rosters.
over 30 players on the Evansville roster. Is there one last chance in this match for either team? Not if Honore Kalala has anything to say about it.
You're right. He's up there for man of the match.
Soaring over the back of a purple ace. And the visitors want to get things going one last time here. Just seconds remaining. And they're going to send everybody forward.
You love to see it. Just find Garvey.
Immune to any sort of counterattack. To the time, the ball's loose, and falling on it is Michael Sibley. And that will do it. So Lipscomb, 3 goals tonight, all 3 from freshmen, 2 from Javon Smith. They followed the opener from Tyree Spicer, and the Bisons, in their return to soccer, have their first victory of the 2021 season. Taylor, your final thoughts?
I think a great showing from Lipscomb. Evansville has a lot to grow upon, especially coming off a 2-15 record. But, you know, the clear victors were the team that played the best tonight. Lipscomb came out, they possessed well, they got the ball out wide, they did what they needed to do, they utilized their pace. And this is just the first game of the year for them. You know, so if they're able to connect the dots even that more and figure out other ways to unbalance defense with this kind of pace, I'm excited to see them grow. Great showing from Lipscomb.
The Bisons move to 1-0 on the year. Their next match is coming quickly. Tuesday, Alabama Huntsville coming right here to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, and then they're right back at it this day next week on Saturday. A little warmer for that match. It'll be a 2 o'clock match at against East Tennessee State right here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. So Lipscomb gets the victory, comprehensive 3-1 over Evansville. Taylor, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you coming by and enjoyed calling both games.
John, always a pleasure to be next to you and learning from you. The legend, the GOAT, John Freeman.
I don't know how much I had to teach, but
yes.
An excellent debut, sir, and an excellent debut for Lipscomb in its 2021 season. Everybody involved in our broadcast, thank you so much for your contribution, and thank you to our viewers for watching. I'm John Freeman saying so long from the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Bisons victorious 3-1, your final here from Nashville.